show.
Okay, I hope you like that new version of the intro for the That Marketing Show. My name again is Matt Coffey. Hey, this is episode number 45 of the That Marketing Show that's brought to you by Customer Bloom. And we talked about MASH with one of our clients. They were a medical client, and we were thinking about a MASH derivative. And we've talked several times in this show about marketing authority, but this is really manifesting authority through storytelling and the harness around that. So today we're going to talk about the conclusion of our digital marketing flight plan. So if you can imagine a jet, here's the body. I'm going to just draw some wings. And again, my artistry is not the best, but the concept is there. You've got a cockpit. You've got a pilot, and then you've got seats. Okay. You've got a engine. Just say on this side. Okay, I'll make a little tail. So in reality, we're going to correlate the manifest of authority through storytelling by harnessing a plane as our example here. Now, the reason why we call it the digital marketing flight plan is we can associate a lot of things that go on into a flight with the different pieces of a website, its content, and the way that it gets delivered throughout the internet, and how we can coordinate that with a marketing strategy. So if we want to think about the passengers, you've got your first class passengers, your second class business, you've got your coach, right? And so if you look at this, each passenger in here is related to a type of content. So let's just say the airplane is your website, okay? And each one of these passengers, depending on where they sit in the plane, is a different piece of content. So we know that the first class will be testimonials. Okay, because testimonials are the real positive proof that your customers, in this case if it was a healthcare organization, patients saying that they've gone through a procedure and they've had a specific result, that was a positive outcome. And that could be also videos. So it could be case studies in the case of another business, or case studies about a product, how it worked and how it solved the problem. So we know that those are first class types of content because that creates a really good version of conversion. Now below that you're going to have, let's say second business class could be blog posts. It could be infographics, right? Infographics, which could be, obviously information that's in a visual format talking about the business. And then you could have how-tos if you're a business, or do-it-yourselves. Again, this is all textual content in the sort of back of the bus of the content. But these are all pieces of content that are on your digital marketing flight plan. Now, let's talk about what these passengers are carrying onto the plane. So all passengers have baggage. And what's that baggage? That baggage equals keywords. Okay, so if you look at each one of these pieces of content, it should have a title, it should have a specific information related topic within the piece of content, whether it's a video, a testimonial, a blog post, an infographic, summary, or whatever piece of content you have, and that should now be carried by each one of these passengers. So each one of these passengers has a keyword deliverable, or a keyword cluster, as we might call it, or a phrase around a particular content. Now, we've got our manifest of authority through the content, right? You've got your story, so these are our stories going through this, and now we're harnessing the analogy of a plane as our digital marketing flight plan. So let's talk about the destination. So when we talk about a destination, it's usually a time period. So we want to have destination time. We want to have a time period where this information is going to now precipitate throughout the internet as a solution to someone's problem, or at least an explanation of how to get a solution from this website. So now we've got engine and airspeed. Oops. So we've got engine and airspeed. Okay? So airspeed can be based off of a couple of things. If this plane or your website is designed in a certain way that it has good cohesion and good comprehensive calls to action, and I guess you could call it speed of use for the end user, this will create a better airspeed. Okay, so people can get through the site quicker. So there's a conversion orientation to how well this plane is flying, how well this plane is actually going through the internet at its speed. The engine can be now related to what's driving the plane. This is where typically a digital agency like ourselves can come in, or you can do it yourself, which is you can do SEO or pay-per-click or advertising to push this content forward, to push this content into the places that you need it to go. So if you have great engines, then you're going to be able to drive this plane with its content through the internet faster and faster. Now, we could talk about fuel for the engine, which would be the different derivatives of SEO and different ways to do paid ads, but we're going to get into that into another episode. But for right now, we want to talk about the last two parts, which are critical. Well, you've got to have communication. Okay, so communication to the tower, to the landing field, everything else that relates to this plane, people knowing about this plane, people aware of the plane coming, and that's through the different social channels that you can now develop. You can also develop a different way of now accessing other parts of the internet and letting this plane land in other places of the internet, meaning that you take your information and put it on other areas of the internet, and that's another communication vehicle besides social. You put it in, you have your content be posted in other arenas and other forums. So there's ways to now communicate your content through this manifest of digital marketing and digital marketing flight plan in this case to other vehicles on the internet that are going to give you some good, at least good feedback for your content being delivered. Now, right here is the pilot. Okay, so the pilot is at the top driving the ship. The pilot in this case, if you can do it, if you have a good pilot, you can have a video show like this, or you could have a podcast, or anything where the voice of the commanding person in the ship, and that's typically a business owner or a person of very importance to the business, so it drives the whole plane, in this case, digital flight plan, so that this person or this individual is now the key linchpin to delivering the message of the company. So that's a basic manifest of authority through storytelling in this particular harness. So that MASH, in this case for a particular doctor, was getting his website up to speed with testimonials, with blog posts, with all of this information, and then having us turn up the engines and get that content out there as fast as possible. All right, we'll go through other parts of this digital marketing flight plan in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this, and welcome to the new version of That Marketing Show.